Hello and welcome to the Simplified Organization Podcast, a show for busy moms who are looking for practical help in managing their homes, families, and lives for the glory of God. We keep it real without complaining, and we help women overcome the overwhelm and perfectionism that keeps us from accomplishing the good work that we do at home. I'm your host, Misty Winkler. I write and podcast at simplyconvivial.com about homemaking, homeschooling, and doing life cheerfully. And I'm also the author of The Convivial Homeschool, Gospel Encouragement for Keeping Your Sanity While Living and Learning Alongside Your Kids. And today I'm joined by my friend, Pam Barnhill. Hi, Pam.
Hey, Misty, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah. Pam believes that you don't have to sacrifice relationships to homeschool strong. She is an award-winning educator, former journalist, and now a homeschooling mom. She has a knack for breaking down big tasks into small, manageable steps and getting to the heart of the stories that her listeners want to hear. She's the host of the popular podcast, Your Morning Basket, and also 10 Minutes to a Better Homeschool podcast, as well as the author of 2 homeschooling books, Better Together, Strengthen Your Family, Simplify Your Homeschool, and Savor the Subjects That Matter Most, as well as Plan Your Year, Homeschool Planning for Peace and Homeschool Planning for Purpose and Peace. I like all the P's in there, but oh, those subtitles, man, they get you every time.
I'm really wondering if a certain person helped me write that book title.
I said, oh, I love that one.
Thank you so much for having me. And I'm sorry for those long titles,
Yeah, well, I did it too. So, Pam, you are the go-to person for planning. And we all love to make plans, but some of us have a hard time sticking with our plans. So what would you say to the mom who never sticks to her plan?
I would say it's totally okay. You don't have to stick to your plan in order for planning to be beneficial. I think it was Dwight Eisenhower who said that, plans are useless, but planning is everything. And we're talking about the man, I think he conquered Europe here. Mm-hmm. So, it's that whole situation of just sitting and thinking through the process of how things can go. It's funny, I was on another podcast earlier today, and we were talking about the fact that we get in our heads so often that, oh my goodness, things always happen to throw my day off, right? Mm-hmm. There's always and we think about the big things. We think about the emergencies. We think about, the legit things that really do throw us off the rails. But you know what? People are always going to be hungry in the morning. People are always going to be hungry at lunch. People always are going to be hungry in the evening. There's always going to be laundry that needs to be done. And it happens all the time. And 98% of the time, that's what's going on in our lives. So if we are planned and prepared and have systems in place for that 98%, then it's so much easier to roll with the other 2% that comes along that really is out of the ordinary. So make the plans. You're going to use them more than you think you will, but you make realistic plans, and sometimes it's funny. I've spent all of last year searching for, I need to do a hobby. I need to work on a hobby. I don't hobby enough. I don't spend enough. And finally, I realized that plannering, that's what I named it. Plannering was my hobby.
Oh, I love it.
And it just made me feel good to sit down and planner.
Is that like putting stickers in the planner?
Yeah, putting stickers in the planner, but also handwriting out the plans. I mean, you're like me. We have to use a digital calendar. We have no choice. We absolutely, we have people who are scheduling things constantly, but I take all of the information that's on my digital calendar and I write it into my physical calendar, my little handwritten calendar as well, because doing so, it puts it in another space in my brain, right? It helps me think about it again. Mm-hmm. And it just, I don't know, I found it's almost a necessary step. If I skip a week, if I don't do it, I just feel out of sorts. So it really does help.
It does. And I love how that's kind of just reframing that something that is useful and helpful to do, that you need to do, but saying, I can actually enjoy it. This thing that I need to do all the time, it can double count. I love things that double count.
I like double counting too. Yeah. But it's something I can just, get my cup of coffee on a Sunday morning. And, we go to church on Sunday night. So it's a nice leisurely Sunday morning for me. And I can just open out my planner and I can put a couple stickers in or maybe doodle something or something like that, but just enjoy the process of writing things out for the week. And does it always work the way I wrote it out? No. But the process of doing it, I think it's kind of like your brain dump, Misty,
Mm-hmm.
The process of sitting down and writing everything out it's part of the process of being good with my systems and things like that.
So to the mom who doesn't stick with her plan, it is okay, because the point of the plan isn't that it happens as written, but actually writing it out is part of the key to working that plan better.
Yeah. The point of the plan is having peace in your life. And part of getting that peace is not that everything works exactly like you planned it, because I know, and we're here to tell you guys, we're not in control. It doesn't work that way. It's not us. So, but just setting it out as part of giving ourselves peace over what happens or what doesn't happen. And so I think it's just, never hold the plans too closely.
Yes, for sure. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Simplified Organization Podcast. Pam is my go-to person for planning tips and tricks and formats. I use her planning forms to plan my homeschool every year. You can too. You can find planning forms for your homeschool at freehomeschoolplanner.com. There you can find Pam's planner pages that will help you keep your homeschool organized and on track. That's freehomeschoolplanner.com. And don't miss part 2 of our conversation, because Pam shares an excellent planning tip that applies to homeschooling and housework and project work as well. So stay tuned for that next time. And until then, repent, rejoice, repeat.